Hi, Michelle. Deetra Davis here, your critical thinking instructor. And so I decided to make a video and walk you through this exercise. I know this is one of our more challenging exercises because it really puts your critical thinking skills to test. But let's go through it. You've already selected your 5 fallacies. And in question number 2, where did you find an example of each fallacy online? Share your examples and please supply the website where you found the fallacy and give the class an example of each fallacy. You've probably already done that. And I asked for the website only because so other students can look up to see where you got your information. Now, number 3 is the question that is boggling your mind, and rightly so. And I'm going to address that with an example, and I hope it will help. In your fallacy examples, how are the fallacies employed to raise the probability of the conclusion being correct? I know I didn't write that question. I would have written it a different way. So let's just go through it. You are going to share with the class how each fallacy might raise or increase the probability, the chance of the conclusion being correct or right. Let's take a look at an example. In this example, I am going to use affirming the consequent, and it's a fallacy. And what it says is inferring that, let's say, P is true solely because Q is true. And it is also true that if P is true, Q is true. And I know you've probably in math heard of those if-then equations, if this, then that. Well, that's what we're looking at in this particular fallacy. Now, they're all different. The problem with this type of reasoning is that it ignores the possibility that there are other conditions apart from P that might lead to Q. So there are other conditions that might make this not true. Let's go on. For example, if there is a traffic jam, your coworker may be late for work. We are guilty of this fallacy. Well, Susan, is going to be late. She's not here yet. It's already 8:05. There was probably a traffic jam. She got on the interstate and didn't even check before, and now she's stuck in traffic. That is an assumption we're making. We're affirming that she or he is late because there's a traffic jam. Now, mind you, we haven't investigated. We have not called the person on their cell phone to see. We're making an assumption that this is the case. It is also possible that the coworker may be late due to a faulty alarm clock. We're making the assumption that the most logical explanation, in our view, would be a traffic jam, but it might not. It might be a faulty alarm clock. Of course, if we have evidence, that's the key. Evidence, and you're looking for that in all fallacies. If we have evidence showing that P is the only and most likely condition that leads to Q, then we can infer that P is likely to be true without committing a fallacy, an untruth, a lie. So if we have evidence, wow, I heard this morning that the interstate had a terrible accident. Anybody getting on the interstate after Broad Street is going to be stuck in traffic. That means that this particular fallacy, well, it's true. It's not false. It's not a fallacy at all. It's a fact. Because we have what? We have evidence. Now let's keep going. So, if we have evidence showing that the traffic jam is the only and most likely condition that leads to being late, then we can infer that the traffic jam is likely to be true without committing a fallacy, an untruth. Yes, it is possible he or she is late due to a traffic jam. Case closed. Okay? So what's the key there? We're looking for evidence. What evidence could there be that would make this either true or false? Either way. Let's look at question 4. What are the weaknesses of the logical fallacy? Now, the weakness is that without further investigation, evidence, we may not know why the coworker is late. Faulty alarm clock, kitchen fire while making breakfast for the kids, any number of things. Does this help? So as you go through your fallacies and you used an example, you're asking yourself, what could possibly make this fallacy, what supports it in being false, or what might make it true? And you have to come up with some evidence that, would make that possible. Now, give it some thought. This is not the kind of exercise you can just do off the cuff. And if you're really struggling, then give me a call or send me a message through Canvas. If I don't answer my phone, simply leave a message. And as soon as I can, I'll call you back. And you've got my number right here, 919-412-9158. I hope this is helpful. Now, Michelle, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, okay? Don't put more into it than is needed. And if you're not sure, again, just give me a call. I hope this is helpful. Anyway, have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll talk to you soon.